into the consuming dusts of the Kalahari, a land that's uncompromising, forbidding, and vast. Here, hundreds of kilometers from anywhere, we went on a search for the last of the Kalahari Bushmen. This fence marks the boundaries of the remote wilderness where they've lived cut off from the world for generations. Entering now is highly sensitive. We went in registered as tourists. Journalists here aren't always welcome. At dawn, this hidden Eden awakens, an expanse the size of Denmark. Since man's very beginnings, the Bushmen have lived here in harmony with nature. Now they're being pushed off their land. Our guide was born here, but he was afraid to give his name. After 2 days of driving, we found what had been his home.
And all this ahead of us used to be where my uncle used to be. It was my uncle's homestead.
So we're in the village.
Yeah.
Where are the houses?
These are places where there used to be some huts, and then these huts were dismantled.
His village was called Metsi Manong, once home to several hundred people. Now, from the thousands of Bushmen of old, only these last few remain. The rest left when the government cut off their water supply in February and moved them elsewhere in the name of development. Moete Chabarekwe stayed behind. His father, 90 years old, is on his deathbed. When the water was cut off here, the medical services were too. The government says this place is simply too remote to sustain. Moeti struggled to explain. His father was alive when Bushmen were still hunted as animals. The Bushmen have survived this and life in a desert, but until now they've always had their land and their ancient ways.
I'm very lonely here now. My entire family has gone, and I always thought that I would hand our skills and culture down to my grandchildren. The modern world is alien to us. Moving us from our land is a way of making us extinct.
Moeti prayed at his grandfather's grave, pleading for help from the spirits. 20,000 years of history have failed to change these people, but the modern world has ensured that the Kalahari Bushmen, as they've been since the Stone Age, have all but gone forever. Hilary Anderson, BBC News in the Central Kalahari.